Hello and welcome back to another podcast by the Last Thoughts blog. As ever, I'm joined by Jamie Hawkins and Reece Hurd, and we are joined once again by Kyle Pont.
I'm going to become a regular at this rate.
You are a regular now. First topic, gentlemen, is the free pre-season friendly we haven't covered. First one being Patrick Risden. What do we all think of the game? We actually conceded.
Yeah, we did.
It was a really slow start, wasn't it?
Rubbish. It weren't a great game. As I said on the vlog, the goal we conceded to go 1-0 down was like the root cause of so many goals conceded last year. Aimer defending poorly, getting caught out in behind and being too slow to recover, and then a goalkeeping error.
Imagine my shock.
It has split opinion, but the geezer gets it straight up Holy, all 6'5" of his frame, and it ends up going through him and ended up in the back of the net. It's his fault.
Yeah. He tried to tip it over, but it was about 14 yards out of goal. It's really risky trying to tip it over there. Just tip it wide, mate.
Yeah, obviously we won the game, but I'm not being funny. They couldn't pass the ball 3 yards.
No, they were awful.
Like, the centre-half was trying to score for us at one point, trying to pass it back to the goalkeeper and booted it at him. Nearly rolled in. But no, I thought we was better second half.
Yeah,
when we made a lot of the subs and brought the youngsters on.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's a recurring theme, that, isn't it?
Yeah, we said that for the Ipswich game.
Obviously, the first goal come from a youngster, an old acre, which I didn't see because I was getting a drink. I thought it was safe to leave for 2 minutes, and obviously not. I missed it.
Yeah.
But the second goal was well worked from a free kick, getting old acre rolling it across to right.
It's one thing I was going to say. One positive take from the Patrick Risden game, James, was that old acre was outstanding.
As he always is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he doesn't get in that Gillingham midfield, but it is what it is. And I was speaking to Jim Case yesterday at Canvey, and he was saying that Oldacre has apparently got a bad attitude.
Really?
Yeah. Which shocked me, but that would maybe coincide with Bradley Stevenson. I've kind of heard that he's had a bad attitude, but I can't see that from Oldacre.
I can't.
That shocked me.
I think people are just easy to jump to that conclusion because Edinburgh was his agent.
Exactly.
But I don't think he is anymore.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, cut ties, didn't he?
So.
But yeah, he was very impressive again. Our best player in the first half, and obviously scored one and set one up. And I don't know why he doesn't get Gillingham field. And yesterday, how I know it's pre-season friendly, but he started on the bench. Why? Heston Tyler did nothing, absolutely nothing yesterday at Canvey.
Score.
Yeah, it was on a plate for him. He was very, very poor, and it really does disappoint me that Darren Oldacre doesn't play for Gills.
Tom Hadler actually played in the second half. He made one big save and that was it. That's all he had to do. Do you think we might see him during the season? Or?
No. We should, but we won't.
We'll get on to that debate.
Might see him come out for the paint pot trophy games, but
if we're
not
lucky.
much else.
Yeah,
Depends how much we actually care about it, really.
We'll move on to the keeper debate in a minute, but let's touch on Colchester then. We must reiterate, we was not at the game, but Gillingham did roll out 2-1 winners. Ryan Jackson scoring against his former club.
Yes,
Fluffed at the near post by Tom Asholey.
I've not actually seen the goal, so
No, I haven't actually seen the goals.
Another win.
Yeah.
who scored? Parker and Martin, wasn't it?
Yeah, Parker and Martin.
That doesn't that helps Parker's case, doesn't it? Which
It's a shame. Although we was talking, me and James at was it Canvey we went to? Yeah, Canvey.
Yeah.
We was talking to Luke Cordell, obviously the KM, and we said to him about obviously Parker scoring, but he didn't seem overly impressed with his performance. Apart from that,
yeah. He seems to think that Tom Eves and Conor Wilkinson are going to be our first choice strikers, and then it will be Parker and Nash as the backup two.
So do you reckon he's going to try and get them to play as two distinct pairs, do you reckon?
Yeah.
He's going to have Eves and Wilkinson as one pair, and if one of them's out, they're just going to say, right, we'll just play Parker and Nash together then.
Yeah, or what we'll do if Wilkinson's out, then he'll put Parker in, and then...
That's not the one I'd choose, but
yeah, well, apparently according to Luke Cordell, it seems like Parker's third choice, then it's Nash.
I just don't think Parker's a striker.
No, I don't.
He's not got the intelligence of run making. He's always offside. But if you play him out wide, he's all right.
Yeah,
he can play. Like I said, I think I said to you the other day, James. He's just got that winger's brain.
Yeah,
you just stick him up front. He just runs around like a headless chicken offside half the time.
He's not a striker, that's for definite.
He's not prolific finisher either, I don't think.
But talking of the two distinct pairs, would you like to see Eves and Wilkinson together, the big men, or would you prefer to see like someone like Wilkinson and Nash paired together, the big man, little man combo?
Yeah, two big men. I can guarantee you now.
I
can guarantee you now. We will start at Doncaster with two big men up front, and after half an hour, Pennant will realise it's not working. It won't work.
Well, the issue of it is, if you start up front with two big men, you'd think, okay, we're going to play hoofball, we're going to try and cross balls in. But that's not how we played in pre-season. And from pre-season, you can get a pretty good indication of what the game plan for the rest of the season
You can, but I've remembered us playing very pretty football during pre-season before, and us having an absolute rubbish season. So come August the 5th, if we go with two big men, and after half an hour it doesn't work, we all know why. Because you just don't go with two big men.
Doesn't work.
It's not going to work. It isn't going to work. We can all see it.
My personal preference for front two would probably be Wilkinson and Nash. But I do think it will be Wilkinson and Eves that play. Eves has looked okay. His hold-up play has been quite good, whereas Wilkinson, I've been more impressed with his technical ability rather than any. I've not really seen a lot of hold-up play from him, but he looks like a decent footballer.
Maybe that's what you need for to pair with Nash, though, because I see Eves a lot like, although not in actual physical form, but a lot like Dion Burton in the actual intelligent way that the footballer works. Holds up the ball a lot, and he's not bad with his feet. He can take a player on, but what he tends to do is just hold up the ball and then leaves it for Nash to do that.
One thing I noticed from the pre-season friendly, whenever Eves is holding up the ball, he's always looking at it to get out wide. Yeah. But the only trouble with that is when as soon as he gets out there, he stands there and admires the pass, and he's very slow to get in the box.
Yes.
When as soon as he releases that pass, he's got to get in the box. He's the main man you want in there to win the header. But other than Paul Parker, Peter Parker, which we've touched on, none of the strikers have done themselves any harm this season, have they?
No, they've been okay.
No.
Nash and Cundall, the more nippy, sort of look to get in behind strikers, whereas Wilkinson and Eves are the ones more likely to come and play from deep.
Do you think Cundall will have a big part to play this season?
I don't think he'll have a massive part, but I think he'll be on the bench most weeks. He might get on every now and then, depending on injuries, suspensions, whatever. He might get the odd game here and there, but I think he's probably just behind Nash in the pecking order.
It also depends how bad the rest of the strikers do.
Yeah, it's with strikers it's form, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But at least we have got the options there, and there is a little bit of difference. We've got a couple of, like I say, bigger strikers that will try and drop deep to seek the ball, and a couple that will always look to try and stretch defences and get in behind, which is a good mix on paper.
Yeah.
But it's not those attributes alone that put the ball in the net. There's more to it than that. But I think the finishing from the strikers has been quite good so far in pre-season.
Let's move on to the final pre-season game. James, you went with Reece.
Did indeed.
How did we play? And
Rubbish.
Brighton. Sweet. Nice.
We were rubbish.
It weren't a great game. The weather was poor.
Yeah.
Any outstanding players or
Chapman
was probably the best, but he wasn't outstanding. He's
Yeah.
played better in the other friendlies.
Yeah.
But like James said in the Matchday Experience video, it's probably just a case of your typical last pre-season friendly where people don't want to get injured.
Yeah, it did seem like that. It seemed like they were trying to save themselves for the opening day. Our back three, obviously, were very young back three, got bullied by ex-Gills striker James Walker, and yeah, Hess struggled in the midfield. I think he's going to find it difficult to get game time this season. It was interesting to see Wright in there. I don't know if we could read too much into that. Is he maybe going to get left out? But saying that, Garmston. So I don't know. Nash was lively before he went off. Created a few things, running behind a couple of times. Cundall again worked hard. But yeah, our general play was quite poor.
The strikers didn't get much service yesterday. I mean, I said to you on the vlog, the wing backs weren't particularly advanced at all, and whenever they did,
This was very, very poor. Yeah.
Really, really poor. Couldn't beat anyone. A couple of times, the ball got played out wide to him, and as he tried to trap it, it's rolled under his foot. I don't really know what was wrong with him yesterday.
But whenever I see him in pre-season, he played in a more advanced role, and he was really impressive.
Well, that's the thing. He's not a wing back.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah, we seemed to get quite bullied yesterday. getting winning by Canvey Island.
Yeah.
They were a strong physical side, which was good.
They
good
probably had
test for us.
better of the chances as well.
Yeah,
really,
they
over the
did.
course of the game.
They did. Nelson, shock, flat 3 or 4, didn't he? Nearly cost us some goals. But yeah, I mean, a win's a win, isn't it? It's a clean sheet.
I mean, you two are sitting there being moany, and which is fair enough because we didn't play very well. But it's saying a lot when that was probably the worst we played all pre-season, and we've come away with the win.
Yeah, with mainly a second string team. Yeah,
Shows a bit of character, no?
yeah. We kept plugging away. The goal come late on.
The goal was very, very good.
It was a very well worked
yeah,
goal.
it was very good play.
Yeah, we did keep plugging away. It kept trying to make things happen. Probably trying too hard at times, some of the youngsters, but no, it come in the end with a bit of interplay between the experienced ones of Wright and Hess.
Yeah.
Little 1-2, and Hess has put it away. He couldn't really miss. But no, 7 wins from 8 from pre-season. If you're going to moan a lot after that, then you're probably never going to be satisfied, are you?
And it's saying a lot when Reece Hurd is saying that he's content, he's satisfied with the pre-season.
Yeah, with the pre-season.
Yeah, that's the thing, pre-season, right. We've covered that now. That's out of the way. The season's nearly upon us. So let's talk about the gaffer, AD Pennock. He's already said he wants 2 or 3 more through the door. But are you pleased with the business he's made this summer? And
I'd probably give it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
7 out of 10. No, that came into my head. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'd say mildly happy actually. A slight bit above content. No signs really stuck out to me as bad. Really, I think there's all areas that needed addressing, because every area needed addressing after last season. Really,
We're not saying anyone that's going to blow the league away, but are all the signings going to improve us in some capacity?
Yes.
Probably.
I think we've gone the opposite direction for what we went under Justin Edinburgh, so we've gone for quantity instead of quality. But the quantity isn't that bad, and we've seen it when we've gone for quality. It's gone pear-shaped.
He's made the squad deeper, which I think was important.
Yeah.
He's made the squad a bit more versatile. We've seen that throughout pre-season. Like Bingham's played centre half, centre midfield. Lister's played 10, wing back. Martin's become a attacking midfielder now. So yeah, we've got a bit more flexibility about us. Even though it seems set in stone the formation we're going to play, we have probably got the options there to, if it goes badly and we lose the first 4 out of 6 games, we can change the system up without it being like last season where we're fitting players into positions that don't suit them and things like that. So yeah, he and Peter Taylor, I suppose we have to give a little bit of credit to. They've done a good enough job, I think.
Yeah.
I've not put it in my notes, but I'm going to spring a question on you all now, and I want you to give a decent reason why. I'm going to start with James and work my way around. Who's the best signing we've made this summer?
Zakawani, I think. Gonna go with Zakawani. Just simple fact is that he's exactly what we needed from last season.
it's like, if you could have just chosen the defender we needed, you'd have come up with Gabriel Zakawani.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, he's everything that we lacked last year. Solid, a good footballer, heads, kicks it away, no nonsense.
I've not heard Reece's and Cole's answers, but James wins already. Gabriel's up. But yeah, go on, carry on, mate.
Yeah, no nonsense, and yeah, I think that with him in there, knows the league very well, and I don't think we're going to concede as much this season.
Reece, do your pick for Gills' best signing this summer?
Luke O'Neill.
It's not a bad shout.
Thought you said that.
We needed a decent right back. Jackson had his moments, didn't he? But too injury prone, wasn't consistent. Whereas pre-season, he has been Mr. consistent. Really and turns out he can play centre half as well, by the looks of it.
Luke O'Neill looks like one of those players to me that you know you're going to get a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, he's never going to be man of the match, Luke O'Neill.
He's never going to be a 9 or 10 out of 10.
He's never going to let you down.
But he's never going to be a 6 or 5.
Never. He's got a little bit of versatility. He does like to push forward, which is obviously good for that wing back role. And yeah, I think he's going to be an excellent addition. Southend's loss, our gain, I think, with that one.
Finally, Cole Pont, Gills summer signing.
Would you believe it? It's Gabriel Zakawani.
we've nearly swept the board. Reece,
Yeah,
you've let the team
How
down.
does that to be different?
And the general consensus here, which sort of shows a lot about the squad under Justin Edinburgh, we've all picked defenders.
Yeah.
3 of us the same defender, obviously, but we've all said defenders because it's what we sorely lacked last season. Some defence, really.
Yeah. I'm going to do some padding here, and I'm going to ask the other question. Most underwhelming signing of the summer so far. Literally just come to me.
I'll tell you what, I reckon if you asked this question 3 weeks ago, James would have said Wilkinson.
Yeah.
He might still say Wilkinson, to be fair.
And I think Reece would have said the same thing, but after seeing him, I think Reece has taken to him a bit. I'll give you some time to
Most
think.
underwhelming
Who have
signing.
we?
Can
who
I
have we
cheat
signed?
and say
Lacey.
Josh Parker
Who have we
because he got
signed?
a new
Lacey.
contract?
No, you can't. No.
Who have we signed? Lacey, Zakawani, Wilkinson, Nash,
Eves.
Eves.
Ogilvy, Bingham.
Or Gilby, yeah.
No, I like Ogilvy.
I'm gonna go
like
with.
Ogilvy.
I'm gonna go with Wilkinson. Just a simple.
Imagine my
Hang
shot.
on, because I think he's gonna really irritate me during the season. He might be all fancy against Chatham Town, but he's just gonna irritate me. He's gonna irritate the life out of me, because there's going to be times this season where he's going to be completely out of the game and he's just going to walk around like he doesn't care. So yeah, Wilkinson, definitely. I know that rustles Reece.
Reece Hurd, I'll let you get your own back.
No, most underwhelming signing, I am me.
He's going to say Wilkinson.
No, I'm going to say, don't let me explain it before you like rattle me, but I am going to say Billy Bingham because he's that type of player that people don't get excited about. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a defensive midfielder. Again, never wins man of the match. So he's not a signing that people are going to go, oh my god, what a signing! He's going to be amazing. But he will do.
For here.
He will.
Yeah.
He will do a decent enough job. Especially if Morris is injured, which
Chance.
when we mentioned him to Pennock yesterday at Cadby,
Yeah.
his reaction suggests to me that we're not going to see Aaron.
Well, his
Morris
words
for a little while.
were not good.
So yeah, he's not an overwhelming sign, is he, Billy Bingham? But
No.
that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a bad one.
Good answer, actually.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
impressed with that.
It's a
Carl-
very good
Carl
answer.
Pond.
It's a bit dull.
Will it be different to James's or Reece's?
Well,
Because I know mine,
like
and it's going to shock all of you.
I was going to say Josh Parker because he was out
It's
of contract.
cheating.
He was
It's
out of
cheating.
contract when
It's
we
cheating.
offered him a new one.
It's cheating.
But that's cheating, apparently.
It's cheating. Definitely.
It is really difficult.
Shall I do mine and give you some time?
Ogilvy, because I don't think he'll feature. I don't think he'll feature, which makes it, in essence, a pointless signing.
Mine's...
I don't think we'll see him that much. I reckon he's here till January, is he?
Yeah.
Yes.
8 appearances tops.
Bloody hell. Right, mine's going to surprise you all, because you know I think he's an okay player, and I think he'll do a good job for Gills this season. But mine's Tom Eves. Because...
You're constantly calling him the boy.
He's the boy. But merely because of the goal record he's coming in with, and he's come from Yeovil Town.
But you love him.
Like Reece said,
He loves his hairdo, I reckon.
Bingham will do a good job, right? I think Eves will do a good job, but he's an underwhelming signing because of his track record. No?
Yeah. I was underwhelmed when we signed him.
Exactly, I was underwhelmed when we signed him.
I still am.
I still am a little bit.
So when
Wilkinson's
we all
grown on
signed
me
him,
more than Eves has.
I think the genuine consensus when we signed him was
Yeah,
After the day after Cody went as well.
yeah. But yeah, most underwhelming signing, Tom Eves.
I could go with that just on the logic that we signed him the day after Cody went. It's like, oh, we're going to get a good replacement for Cody.
Yeah.
Announcement. Gillingham have
4 and 40.
Gillingham have
I don't
secured the
think-
signing of Tom Eves.
Yeah, I don't think that helps Eves' cause whatsoever, did it? Really? But,
He's not a replacement to McDonald, is he? That's the
No,
thing.
he's different.
Totally different player.
The reason why I don't like Wilkinson is Nick Cody's shirt.
That's his fault.
It's his fault.
Right then. Next topic we briefly spoke about earlier. It's the keeper situation.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, we're all going to agree on this anyway.
We're going to do the same format as the last topic. I'm going to ask you, Holy Hadder or Nelson, you've got to answer and give a good reason for picking them. So I'm going to, as ever, I'm going to start with James. James, Holy Hadder or Nelson?
Realistically, or who I want.
Who you want? And then give your realistic one.
Okay.
So do both.
Hadler, who I want,
Yep.
is Hadler. He's the best out of the three.
Yep.
He's got the most potential out of the three.
Yep.
And simple fact, he's the better goalkeeper out of the three.
Correct.
Realistically, will be Thomas Holy. But unfortunately, he can't catch a cold. So there you go, there's my answer.
To be fair, if he did catch a cold, he might miss a game, so it would be handy. Reece, Holy had Ron Nelson.
Who I want, Hadler, because he seems least likely to chuck one in the net compared to the other two. But realistically, it's going to be out of the other two, and I would pick Nelson. Even though yesterday at Catton V he flapped at 3 corners, which we've become accustomed to.
You think he's going to go with Nelson over Holy?
No, it's who he wants,
Who
not
I
who
want.
we
Oh,
get.
Holy
Yeah.
too.
Oh, right. I thought it was realistic.
We do.
They're both fairly
No,
One you want and then
essentially, you got one choice between Hadler, Holy, and Nelson, and you got one between Holy and Nelson because that's
Pretty
the real
much.
choice.
Yeah.
Well, Holy's not who I want. Nelson's who I want.
I don't know, I don't
At
want
the two.
either.
Yeah, no, not really. Out of the two.
But that is my realistic option. I don't
Could we
want
just
either.
play,
No.
since Ogilvy won't feature at centre back, could we just play him like in goal instead?
Too small. Too
Listen,
small.
with Nel-
It could be
Put Eves in
quite
goal.
agile.
with Nelson, it's no real criticism with him. He's like 35, 36. He is not going to be the goalkeeper he was. He will make errors because of his age.
As you said in the last on the social, what a player he's been for us.
He's been
But
excellent.
He's
Whereas
come to
excellent
us
servant
time.
for
The thing that's winding me up with Holy is that people keep going, he's the future of Gillingham, he's a young goalkeeper. He's nearly 26 years of age. Hadler is a young goalkeeper,
Yeah.
not Thomas Holy. People are thinking Holy's young purely because he's come from a different country. He's 26 years old. He's rubbish. By the time we've developed him, he'll be pushing 30. And then we've got to be looking, we've got to look to the future now. Hadler, where's he? Probably playing for Bolton or something because we've let him go and he's gone on to do good things somewhere else. Hadler deserves a bigger shot. I've not seen, of course, none of us have seen as much of him as we've seen of Nelson or Holy because he doesn't play first team football, but I've probably seen him play 6 or 7 times. I can't knock him from what I've seen.
Well, was meant to be quick fire, but we'll move on. Kyle, Holy Hadler and Nelson.
Yes, Hadler.
Realistically,
See, I said we spoke about this very briefly on last week's podcast, and I got a lot of stick for saying Holy over Nelson purely because he can distribute the ball better,
which is
which is
Debatable.
fact, which is fact.
debatable.
Can he? He does one good kick and
Because-
the rest of
because-
that rubbish.
Because as I said last podcast,
He makes
it
one mistake
takes
and his head
one
goes.
bad kick in the first 5 minutes,
I don't think
and his
he
whole
has-
game's
I
ruined.
don't think he has got better distribution than
I'd
Nelson.
say he has because
He's got quicker distribution.
Quicker?
He's always looking to go like how does Nelson will pick up the ball, he'll wait for everyone to run out of the box, everyone to get the halfway line, then kick it, and he'll go out for a throw.
He does that.
Yeah, he does do that,
does
yeah.
sum up.
Your
Nelson's
realistic pick
distribution.
then? You said
No,
you
I'm
said-
going
you said
Holy.
Hadler.
Going Holy.
You're going Holy. I'm gonna go with a clean sweep for Hadler as my pick, but my realistic choice would be Stuart Nelson, merely because he's a better goalkeeper than Thomas Holy, and for me, if it comes between the two of them, Nelson's a better keeper, so I'd choose him.
There's a genuine look of like
Disgust.
even a minute later, just disbelief and disgust on Reese's face as I said Holy
I
over
can't blame
Nelson.
him.
James is crying at it though. James thinks
Yeah,
that
because
thing-
Reece has just been scared by a dog.
I didn't see it was there. I turned around and saw this creature standing next to me.
They do live in this world, Reece.
Reese, you own a dog.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting one to be standing right there when I turned around.
It wasn't.
Right, we'll move on from the dog. Right,
Could play talking goal.
It's another thing in the same format where I'm going to go around and ask you a question. Predicted top goal scorer for the season. I'm going to start with Kyle because I'm going to give you two a bit of time to calm down.
I'm calm.
So
I'm
Kyle
I'm calm.
predicted top goal scorer for Gillingham for this season.
It'll be between Wilkinson or Lee Martin as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, Lee Martin, good shout. Reece,
Connor Wilkinson. Is that quick enough answer for you? Or should I have said
enough.
Wilkinson?
quick enough.
We need some padding.
James Hawkins, top goal scorer for Gillingham this season.
If fit, Scott Wagstaff.
Ooh, not a bad pick.
If
Even
fit.
at right wing back.
Yeah, I think he did it at Bristol City.
Oh, we saw
Yeah.
that brilliant display of skill against Ipswich, didn't we?
Yeah.
So he can do it.
He cut in, left foot, top
if he can
bins.
keep himself fit, I think he'll chip in with a few goals this year, and I don't think we're going to get it from the strike force. So I'm going to go Scott Wagstaff.
And the last topic
Oh, you didn't say your answer.
of today. Oh, my answer.
To be fair, he knows that no one cares. So.
No one does care.
Oh, here we go. He's going to say Nash, isn't he?
Well, he won't play, so...
No, Nash won't play. Josh Parker. No.
It'll be the boy who I said was the most underwhelming signing.
No, I'm going to go for Conor Wilkinson. And the last topic for today is the Q&A session, which is on Tuesday. Pennock has said that he's the one that made the decision.
So he told us yesterday.
Yeah, we had a good 15-minute...
I've got nothing else to ask Pennock now. We've found out what we wanted to find out yesterday from him.
It's going to be
From him though. Only from him.
Yeah.
What about Scally?
That's what the Q&A is really for, I think.
It's not just going to be us that's going to be only asking questions to Scally.
Liam,
everyone's going there to ask Scally questions.
It'd be interesting to see how many people turn up. There's a lot of Gills fans that sit behind a keyboard and happy to give their opinion. Okay, well, let's see if like 300-400 people turn up to this Q&A thing.
You've got your chance now to go and put a point across.
Exactly.
Liam Taylor obviously won't be able to make it because he's abroad, and he put some questions in the group chat last night, which I'm going to read out now because they are very good questions, and I'd like these to be asked on Tuesday. First one being, why aren't season tickets ready? Good question. Second one is, why was Justin Edinburgh given a bigger budget when we made an 880k loss for the year ending May 2016? Yeah, again, good question. And then the other one is, why can't we attract investment into the football club when smaller clubs can?
Northampton, a prime example of that.
Exactly.
They're significantly smaller than us as a club. They've got no one. Everyone nearby just goes to Milton Keynes, and even then, Milton Keynes don't have anything.
Like everybody has said, this club has got massive potential.
Because
at times
huge potential.
We're our own worst enemy at times.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What do you think? The chairman's their worst enemy, and people might think not a bad looking club to invest in, but all the time he's there. Like this whole talk with the new ground, apparently he's got all the land secure apart from one little spot because the woman don't like him, so won't sell it to him.
Shock.
People seem to have a problem dealing with Scally, and I think that's part of the reason why this club's being held back, is that people just find him such hard work.
He burns his own bridges, that's his problem.
Like Liam made so perfectly when he sacked Edinburgh, slagged him off.
Yeah.
So now, if ever he needed a favour off Justin Edinburgh,
he'll get told to do one.
Yeah. Which is why he's probably lucky that Taylor came back, because he slagged him off when he left.
Yeah, and he wasn't like a slide dig. It was Taylor was rubbish. Taylor played 5 back, didn't like it. Taylor was one of the most negative football managers I've ever seen. Blah de blah de blah. I'm surprised Taylor come back after that.
I'm interested to see Tuesday. It'll be very, very interesting. But like we said, and like we said to Adi, didn't we? 5 questions are going to be for you, mate. 50 questions are going to be for the chair.
I think he knew that.
And he knew that. He knew it.
For every 10 questions asked, Pennock will get one for his own for his own evening, essentially.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some stupid questions asked as well. Like,
of course there will.
Like, there'll be someone that hasn't been to a pre-season friend and be like, what number is Conor Wilkinson going to wear this season?
I think my questions for Pennock would simply be about maybe Oldacre, the goalkeeping situation.
The goalkeeping situation, I'd
Morris.
like to hear some questions asked about that.
Morris,
yeah. So
there's very limited what you can ask Pennock, but with Scally it seems a never-ending list.
But it will be the same. It'll be brush aside or give a stereotypical answer, or
it'll be politician answers from Scally, and it really wouldn't surprise me if some of the questions were asked and he didn't even answer some of them, because it surprised me if he actually had an answer.
It's going on for 2 hours. The club last night.
Plan to anyway
on Twitter. So yeah, plan to. So,
but no, apparently you can write your questions down when you go in,
or ask it from the floor. I'd rather ask it, because if I write it down,
they'll just throw it away.
Don't
like that one.
Yeah,
whereas if you ask them on the floor, they're under the spot.
Don't want to ask that. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'd rather ask mine from the floor.
What would you want to ask?
Some of the stuff I've just read out there, like, why aren't seeing things? You have 3 months to do it. Why not just install them card things? How easy is it to get a card machine done? Very.
Reese, what would you like to ask?
Yeah, go on then. What would everyone like to ask? I'll go to you after James.
I think your one about Oldacre is a really, really good one. Why someone that, from the fans looking in, looks such an exciting prospect and already a capable footballer, been in the Gillingham midfield, why he isn't getting a look in? Because it can't just be based on ability, because he'd be in there. So there's a reason there why. Maybe why in the last 2 years why so much has been kept secret from supporters.
Yeah, that's a
I'm really surprised the Bradley Dack fee got disclosed.
I am.
secret. Whereas
Because even in our divisions, like every transfer being undisclosed fee, that's pretty normal, I'd say.
Yeah.
one I would like to ask is, you're charging £400. Why do we as a club not do a scheme?
Yeah.
That would be my one.
Yeah,
I think
it's a good one.
Or like even simple stuff like why were the incentives of the season ticket taken away?
Yeah,
I just
took
think,
them away.
or why was we so successful engaging with the fans under Alan, but we're so rubbish at it now?
And ever since Alan's gone, there's been zero engagement with the
Yeah,
fans.
and we're the most important people at the football club, and yet we know nothing.
No us, and there's no Gillingham. Do you know what I mean?
So,
Yeah, Pennock's trying. I mean, take yesterday for
This could be the
example.
start. This could be a start.
Pennock's been talking to fans.
It's not like
That's
we
good.
didn't go up to Adrian Pennock and go hello. We was talking to Luke Cordell in the press box from Kent Online.
Yeah.
And Pennock came around the corner, shook our hands, and then stood in there for 20 minutes talking to us.
See, that's good.
Because it was 1:45, I think, so there was still ages, and he had nothing better to do. So he is trying.
It could be a start
Yeah.
for him at least.
I
This
don't-
is-
seems relaxed,
I don't
so-
think it'll ever be as good as what it was under Alan, but
Alan knew
he-
that.
but he's made a good start
experienced,
in,
isn't he?
in fan engagement.
Alan knew what he was doing.
He's got the same walkout song as Alan, though.
I know, I like it.
I
yeah.
like it.
that wasn't decided by Pennock.
The Jew.
Was
Who
it you?
Was it you?
Was it you?
It may well
Was
have
it
been.
you? Oh. Kyle
Now,
Pond.
can we have the goal music back, please?
I didn't turn it off.
Right, can you make sure it comes
I
back,
want Chelsea
please?
Dagger.
No, we don't.
No,
want Chelsea Dagger.
no.
In seriousness,
Not
we didn't
at
play
all.
it for the pre-season friendlies because there's no point because there's two people there.
It's not.
So you're bringing it back then? Is this an exclusive?
It didn't disappear.
The last
It
one
did
was-
disappear because it didn't
did.
play.
It
We
did
can confirm the
disappear.
goal music is coming back next season. There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
We need some atmosphere.
That's-
at
That's
Speedfield.
definitely worth a retweet.
I have said nothing of the sort.
Right then,
we've
so
confirmed
I'll put
it.
you on the spot now. Is the goal music returning?
I don't have an effing clue.
This is the Carl Pond Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's.
Hello, Gills fans. Welcome to the Carl Pont Q&A.
Can we have some goal music?
Any
please?
questions from the floor? Any questions from the floor? We know you've done some early on some cards, but any questions from the floor? We've thrown them all away.
We're going straight to the floor. Any questions?
Yeah.
Reece, any questions from the floor?
No. Evening over. You can leave.
Any questions? No. All right.
That's what it'll be like. Scally go, right, so has anyone got any questions? Everyone puts their hand up. No, can't see any. We'll end it there.
Wait, hang on. When to the crowd coming? Oh, thank you. Thanks for your time.
That's another one.
Soon.
That's another one. Why was there no new kit this season?
You don't have to do it every season.
No, you
I'd say.
don't.
But why wasn't there?
No, because the kit we had last time, the solid blue one with the white and red stripe on the side, that was 2 seasons as well.
Yeah, it was.
It
was.
I
Yeah,
prefer
but-
clubs keeping it 2 seasons to 1.
Yeah, it just seems a better money maker changing it every year because fans buy new kits, don't they?
I just don't
But some
understand it.
people
That's
could
all.
feel like they get milked doing that. Really,
You always get Gills fans at mine.
Yeah. No matter what, someone's gonna moan.
I think maybe next time if we sort of change it around so we have a new home kit 1 season, then away next. Because it used to
It's
be
not a
like
bad
that. It
idea.
used to be like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
But
It's not a bad idea.
we'll be at the Q&A.
We'll be at the Q&A.
Live tweeting from the account. More.
Asking some questions, and we'll see if they actually get answered. First of all,
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if any of ours do, because they'll demand a decent answer.
I like to think there'll be a lot of people there with interesting questions. And like you say, hopefully there's not too many silly ones that are just
Yeah.
gain absolutely nothing
Shirt
from
numbers.
being answers.
What's your pre-match ritual? Well, I wake up, I have some breakfast, and I go to the ground. Fantastic. That's all I needed to know. And on that bombshell, as ever, thank you for joining me, boys, on the Last Football podcast. And as always, up Gills.